Well, our business editor, Richard Southern, is practicing social distancing. Hello, Richard. You're working from home today.
I know, it's nice. It's very peaceful. There's no one to bother me here at home, Cynthia. I got no kids, so it's very peaceful here at home today.
Oh, yeah? Are you wearing your pajamas below?
I'd say nothing. The shots from the shoulder up only.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay, I've called you out on it. You've been keeping,
Deny everything.
Deny. You've been keeping a close eye on the markets in the midst of this coronavirus pandemic. Tell us about today, Richard.
Yeah, you know, what we saw today was more of a boring trade, and we needed that. We need boring. And you know what? It was a winning trade. We had the Dow Jones Industrial Average up about 1% today. It was up 188 points. We had the TSX really coming back to life, up 449 points, about a 3.8% gain for the TSX. Two things happened today that had stocks moving higher here at the closing bell. First of all, we had the price for oil recouping some of yesterday's big losses. Oil actually had its biggest gain ever today. It was up 24% to some $25. But the bigger story, Cynthia, was global central banks, be it the Bank of Canada, the Fed, the European Central Bank. What they're doing, they're basically creating money. They can create money out of nothing, and they're doing that. And they're using that new money to buy, bonds and buy other financial instruments to stabilize the markets. So investors like that. The big interventions we're seeing is helping to improve the mood. A lot of people, too, Cynthia, also talking about 1917. There's some comparables here. You know, they had the big flu in 1918.
Flu, yes.
And you look at the stock market back then, it had actually bottomed in 1917 before the worst of the Spanish flu in 2018. So people are saying maybe the same will happen here. Maybe the worst on the markets will come before the worst with the virus comes.
Okay, well, I guess we just have to wait and see. Now, we all know about the toilet paper shortage, and I have to tell you, when I was at Queen's Park with Premier Doug Ford today, he said, I don't understand it. It's pulp. We have pulp. We have the best resource in the country, resource for toilet paper, so he doesn't understand it. But it's not just toilet paper that we're seeing a shortage of now. It's also grocery stores struggling to stock another product. Which one is that?
Chicken. Have you noticed this, Cynthia? Chicken being missing?
No, but I haven't been in a store recently. It's for a few days.
I have, and I've noticed that, you go to the meat section and the beef and the pork is there, but the chicken's not. And grocers will tell you that, indeed, chicken has been hard to keep in stock. So why has the poultry flown the coop? Food expert Dr. Sylvan Charlebois with the Dalhousie University says part of it is that it's easy to throw in the freezer and save, but another part of it has to do with the demographics here, the GTA. Take a listen.
The Asian population is actually quite substantial in the GTA, and typically Asians tend to go to chicken, which is a cheap protein but a reliable one in times of crisis. It's actually, you see that in China quite a bit. They would leave pork and go to chicken.
The good news, Cynthia, he says the chicken should be back in about a week on store shelves.
All right. Now, airlines, we know they've been particularly hard hit these days, Richard. But one Canadian carrier is trying to go above and beyond. My
favorite story of the day, I love this, Sunwing, it's scrapping all its flights in the next day or two. But what it's saying now, it's saying all the final flights coming back from southern destinations, if you need a seat on it to get home to Canada, you can have it for free, Cynthia.
Amazing.
Pretty cool. The CEO of Sunwing, Stephen Hunter, says it's the Canadian thing to do, he says. So Sunwing obviously taking a hit here, trying to repatriate Canadians back to Canada. Meantime, still tough going for the aviation world. The CEO of American Airlines today saying it's the worst he's ever seen. American was down 11%. Fun story to come out of this, though. It kind of flew under the radar, but the world's longest passenger flight took place because of the coronavirus. It was on this plane here, Air Tahiti. On Saturday, it set a record for the longest scheduled passenger flight, 9,700 miles, more than 15,000 kilometers from the capital of French Polynesia all the way over the Pacific, over the North American continent, over the Atlantic to Paris. Took 16 hours. Cynthia, normally it stops in L.A., but it couldn't do it because of the travel restrictions. So there you go. World's longest passenger flight.
All right, another record. Okay, Richard, thank you very much. And we'll talk to you again in the next hour.
Thanks.